Check, check. Am I back?
Nice.
Sounded back.
Hey.
Well, that was fun. So OBS does this funny thing where it decides that the name of the capture card is Elgato HDS in brackets 2 instead of Elgato HD60S in brackets 1. And I guess it was switching it up on me there, and hopefully it actually stays now. That'd be nice if that's what it did. It would also be nice if it would ever save the settings on the webcam so that I look normal. Okay. Well, wasn't that happy and joyful? Kugersy, did you send me a friend request?
Yep.
Cool. That should be the only step we need to get you in here. Might actually have space on my friends list. What do you know? What
It's always a shocker. My gosh, whenever I have space on my friends list, it's a miracle.
You guys can stay in that room because I will just join it myself here.
Goes into a tournament, actually gets a friend request. Oh my god, I had space!
Okay. So we're going to get Cat and Puppy, and together they will save the universe. This is the plot of my new hit play.
Squid School Pet Squad.
You'll see it on Broadway coming Tuesday of 2025.
Oh, you gotta make that a thing, you know.
I am under no obligation whatsoever.
Cat and Dog 6, The Return of, yeah, I don't know.
Not, yeah, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. And there's Kugersy. Cool. Trying to think what I want to play here. I'll probably still stick to Frontline here.
Support.
I don't usually play this, and I'm not expecting it to go especially well, but I'll run it.
Alright.
There we go. Camera, focus, good. The autofocus usually works. All right, here we go. Started off the stream without a hitch.
Yep, totally.
Can we produce your new Cat and Puppy Save the Universe play? You can have it copyright free. No royalties required, no credit required, it's all you. You are the genius who came up with that brilliant idea.
That's a Respawn Punisher Dynamo, so... The leader is a swim speed.
Yeah, leader up top, so careful not to peek corners
Dynamo's
too badly.
with it.
I am down.
Me too.
They're gonna start pushing spinner.
I got one. Oh, I got sniped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I looked
That
straight
you
into the
leader.
line of fire and I'm
Oh.
like, rest in
It's gonna be
peace.
challenging pushing in. We can't just kind of rush in. We gotta
Yeah,
make sure that
damn
we've
it.
got numbers to go for it.
Right.
they know I'm up in the top corner.
I am gonna
Yeah,
booyah
they're in the top.
behind zone. Should buy us sometime here.
Aha,
Okay.
leader down, yes!
Dynamo's on our spinner still, one on me from court.
Dynamo's on the
And
left.
once
Oh, I
I'm
got
down.
the Dynamo.
Oh.
In our.
You got this, Tanya. Burst bomb, burst bomb. All right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Nice.
Yeah, I got it.
Good pick. Good pick.
Leader's on the right side.
I want to use my special.
Oh boy, someone's on zone.
Yeah, on left. It's CDS. Don't pay too much mind to them. They're just gonna
Oh
distract.
my god. Oh, I didn't know the dynamo roll
well,
got me.
that guy go.
I have Booyah to respond.
Leader moved up on the
On
right.
the left.
Leader's in mid now.
Okay, I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
pop
that's-
armor.
CDS on me.
Another type.
Oh, they
Oh,
out.
hello, Dynamo! Dynamo's under spinner.
Oh,
no,
that's
I got sniped.
Glugas. That's why that happened so quickly.
Leader's on the left.
On the
Leader's
right.
down. Leader's down low on the left. If you guys pinch it, you can't do much down there.
Oh, sniper's
I'm
on
gonna
like
die.
low ground.
They're gonna have to jump here. No, they're not. They just slipped by me, and I missed everything. Cool.
I got dualies.
Yeah, sniper's going low ground.
Sniper's
Dynamo,
on
another the
snipe.
left.
Oh, I
Okay,
thought I
they're
died.
back.
Got
They're-
one. Another one in
they're
front
on
on
the left.
snipe. On snipe. Two of them.
Do we have
Oh,
got
there
him.
you go. There you go. Good
Oh, I
push.
got
Good
it.
push.
Leader on their great. Leader on the great right. Now they're below. They're running
Alright.
around below. There you go, Gem. They're by you. Okay,
I
they
see
went in
it.
front of you. but-
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
There's
I
another
got
one in there.
traded. On the
Yeah,
left.
I'm dead.
You got it.
We got lead though.
Alright,
Back
I'm
up. Back
trying to do my
up.
special
Give up
again.
zone.
I mean, they're
It's
not
4v2.
exactly here. It will be
I think
shortly,
they can-
though.
On the left. They're on the
I
left.
know. Nice wall. That just really helped me out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got sniped again.
Yeah, leader left.
Targeting me.
Leader down.
Nice. Get
There's
the
a jump on the leader.
Duelist.
Oh shoot, there's
Watch out
someone
for the
on the jump.
dynamo.
Got the jumper.
two right.
Dynamo and
the
someone else on zone. Ah, I
tapped
couldn't get the
them.
booyah off in time.
Oh shoot. I'm gonna pop armor for us three because we're nearby here, and I know Kugersy's in trouble.
Good cap, good cap.
Oh,
Oh, there's a
there.
dynamo on my face!
Hello, let's go.
Yeah, there's a dynamo there.
Forced leader out of position. We have their spinner.
There's a dynamo behind you guys from our spinner. And that's the RP.
Still here? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
I
not
almost
great.
died.
Got two.
Nice.
Oh,
Just
okay, I
the
got.
leader,
We haven't
just
got
the
it.
leader.
Leaders, they're scaffold. They're
just
out of
us,
position.
So I see. However, they can hit me if I go any farther than this.
Got one.
Oh, we're so close to lead! I need help painting! Help me paint!
Hold on.
I'm down to the
I got
CDS.
two.
There you go,
Painting.
nice.
Thank
That should be
you.
it.
Oh my god,
I don't want to
I'm
be
gonna
here
back up.
anymore.
that dynamo roller. That has some really good range.
Leader on the top left. No! I.
Traded it.
I
Man,
didn't
Debbie,
know they were
Debbie
on
felt like she
spinner.
died in real life just now.
Yeah, I had no idea it was on spinner, and that's the second time I've got crushed by the dynamo. So if you guys see it coming up spinner, please tell me. Especially when I'm trying to watch a sniper at the same time. It's not easy.
Oh, they got me
Okay,
on the left.
it's 2v3.
On the left, I mean.
They're gonna get lead. That's okay. We need to stay alive.
Oh,
I got one. Oh boy.
Got three.
Oh, yo, that's the paint. Okay.
One coming out. Their court. Probably going snipe. Yeah, on snipe. On snipe.
Yeah, they're on snipe.
Leaders, their street.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up here. I don't want to.
Two out left. Out left. Three of them. Watch left. Watch left.
Whoa.
There you go.
I got
Oh
one.
my god, I almost died from that one.
Keep zone. We need to keep zone.
I need help painting. From the left. Keep
Oh my
painting,
god,
keep
it's
painting,
double
keep
range.
painting, keep
Oh.
painting.
I'm gonna die to the rain.
Ah!
I got Venn diagrammed.
That double rain did slow me down.
If you get stuck in the middle, Gem, I know it's a really quick reflex, but I should have told you to actually to jump to me. You
Mhm.
probably would have had time to get out of the rain.
Yeah, that's smart. Hi, Goose. Welcome. Circles. Ugh, hate circles. Toxic always had a thing about circles being dangerous in video games.
Oh, he did, didn't
Like
he?
in League of Legends, you'd see an Amumu ult. He's like, "You gotta watch out for that circle. That circle's gonna kill you, man."
Oh my god.
Oh, good times, right, Jem? Good times.
People.
I fear no man, but that thing
Oh,
really
man.
scares me.
But that two-dimensional figure, true horror. Boxes are okay. Depends on the game.
They have a splatling now. There's
Some-
a lot of range.
Some fighting games have square boxes, and then you want to stay away from them. But for the most
Dynamo's
part,
going the right stack, Jem.
Yep. Traded the Dynamo for the leader. That doesn't make any sense at all, but we traded.
Oh,
One top right.
Yeah, it's the Dooley. Hey, Dooley.
Bye, Dooley. Dynamo down. Heavy weak.
Need paint on
that
zone.
oh that was
Heavy
Dynamo.
dropped off left. They're zoned out. We can paint zone while I'm
Leader's on
doing
the,
things.
Leader's on the far left.
They're coming in from left. Dapples.
Yeah, on the left. Oh, they got me.
Careful, we're 2 down.
I got the dapple.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh!
yeah, it was Dynamo.
Heavy down.
On the right.
So I'm behind
2 on
them.
left. They got me from left. Dapples over
Dynamo's
left stacks.
Weak. Dynamo's
Left
weak
stacks,
on the
left
right
stacks.
here. Traded with Dynamo.
Good trade. Watch out,
Where was
Kugersy,
it?
you're alone. Okay, you're alone, but you're cracked. And we've actually got zone.
Good job.
They're all on the left. 3 on the left. One's probably gonna. Yeah, they're literally all on the left. Dynamo's gonna be. Yeah, probably gonna be mid target. Yep, mid target.
I'm gonna get special.
Dapples
Alright, I got-
flank me left.
I got
Oh, they
special.
got me.
They're
Who do I
on
jump
our
to?
plat or street. There you go.
Not anymore. Is this going to me? I know, right? I have had enough of being targeted.
By the way, Dev, you know how we call this street? Like, it's actually
know.
called plat on the official callouts, and I
I know.
didn't realize that, and I've had to unlearn that for watercolor. Well, that forced them all
I've,
forward, but we were able to let that happen, unfortunately.
Can't do much from here.
You can work
Jem, you
nothing.
should come try flanking on the right a few more times. The Dynamo's pretty vulnerable on this side, and there's really no one else here.
Not if I run right at him like that.
Oh, let's go. Uh-oh, another.
Dynamo dropped
Dynamo
back.
drop.
I can't. It's too much over here.
Got the Dynamo.
Still one right
There,
close.
I'm gonna
Probably
die!
doubles.
The remix is like, hey, don't you dare squid
I'm
bag
down.
me, remix.
Oh, squid bag? Leave that to me.
Don't worry, I splatted the remix. Don't worry about the game or anything. I splatted the remix, okay?
Thanks, Jim.
Eyebrow raise.
Okay.
Moxie, what team do you play for?
Eternal Frost.
Eternal Frost. Cool.
I've seen, I think I've seen the team in SOS the last 2 weeks. I haven't come across them, but I've seen them.
Hey, Brock.
It's Brock!
There. I fixed the
Ah,
green
there we
screen.
go. Got a drink before the match started.
Nice. Other things, I see the content grind is real. You're not wrong. It is a grind. Once we get started with the VOD reviews, I have a quick announcement to make about that, actually. 'Cause,
Firepin's behind the right stack. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ambushed. Oh, there's three!
oh,
Okay.
they got me with a bomb off the shield from behind. Someone's still behind right closed. Careful, Cougar. You need to get out of there if you can.
Oh,
Too low left.
I got a bomb. Like, I got bombed right there.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought we were
boy.
engaging that guy.
Oh, Tania, try not to be in front of me. Thank you. Oh, I got
Still behind, still behind, still behind.
What?
Yeah,
I
that
thought we had
that
left
splash has
covered.
been flanking us all game. We gotta watch out
I
for
know,
that.
but I saw you guys go out left, so I thought you had it covered, so I didn't pay attention to it.
Oh my god, I got... Oh, okay, I got pressure between two of them on my side.
You should have cap
flanking
here.
behind.
They're behind, yeah.
We don't really have the weapons that can actually paint cap right now. We have one. That one was
Two.
fall off
52 can do it. But,
Oh, I almost did it.
with Booyah.
no, Booyah sucks at painting. The main weapon is what's really good about the 52.
Well, I know you can paint over the Booyah and stuff, but...
Like, the reason that 52 is popping off, like, this weapon was exactly the same, except it got a painting buff. That's why, like, that was the thing that triggered everyone to start playing it and realize that it was busted. But, like,
Yeah.
it was basically, like, the same kind of niche as the K-Pro for a while, where it was, like, good at slaying and, you know, playing midline, but it couldn't paint. And now it can paint, and so it's not, like, a liability on the team because it doesn't paint anymore. So it's like, between me and Tania, we have a good amount of painting power here, but it is a little tricky with a brush and a Hydra to make sure that the zone keeps painted. If they have more than
it's a
2
bit
painting
Yeah.
weapons on their
hard.
team, then that's when we start running into trouble.
Yeah, they also had a junior overpaint us. They be going evil.
Oh.
Double booyah. I see. Chin scratch. Ready for some synchronized booyah bombing?
I don't think you want them synchronized, you want them staggered. That's the whole point. That's...
You know what, I just thought this. What if I jump to you guys with a special on me and doing like a splashdown with the jump?
I mean, if one's in a fight, it definitely works. As a person
Mm-hmm.
who does this with V-Hydra a few times, you know, it does come in handy. It saves their lives to at least escape them, even if you don't get the splat, so it gives them paint around so they can escape.
Yeah.
That's why I usually tell my teammates, okay, I will tell you when I have a splashdown. If you're in trouble, call me. And I'll be like, bombs away! I do this on tower
Gotcha.
control a lot.
Oh. That's pretty smart though.
Yeah, it's
I
it's the one good thing about Splashdown, that you can activate it from Super Jump. If not for that, it's very exploitable, unfortunately.
Oh, I almost got killed by that bomb.
Got one.
Nice.
Got
That's
two.
2, got 3, and 1 on snipe. They jumped off the snipe. I've got Booyah ready.
I've got mine ready. They're coming. One's coming out the top.
I
I'm
got
gonna
splashed
Booyah
down.
them off a street, and then we can fight them in court. I'm dead to bomb.
I
So
got one.
that didn't work. One coming out right, one coming out right. Left is their strong side, right is their weak side.
Oh, I got taken down.
Baller on zone.
Oh, no.
Got one.
Oh, behind me, behind me, behind me. $52 is weak on the left. I pushed him back.
Is that
as much
pushing
as I
me
could.
right? They got me?
Trying to keep zone here as best as I can. Oh no, this is Booyah. Got one. Oh, I'm down on zone. I couldn't flick quick enough.
Oh, I got taken down.
Yeah. Zap sees me.
One's on our spinner.
They're gonna try and punish me for punishing the jump here. Almost feel like they did that on purpose. I've got Booyah ready to go.
I got splashed down.
Alright, let's go.
Oh, I got taken down too.
Just us.
Not on his own base, like on lower ground. Don't know what's it called though.
It's alright.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Right or
Oh,
left is good.
When we're back, I'm
Go
putting
right.
this on the... Okay, putting this on zone.
I'm in behind. Got one. Another one on me. Got him.
There you go.
One behind on spinner. They jumped. We need zone. We need zone. There we go.
I'm on spinner.
Here. Oh, there's a
They're on
bomb!
the right.
Oh, never mind. Oh my god. Oh, okay, I
Got
got
one.
canceled.
Assistance is
And
gonna
they're
be
gonna try and get me.
I'm down on left. They're on zone. Zap.
Yeah.
Is that 3 on zone? 3 on zone.
No,
Got
I'm on the
52.
right.
Oh, no! Oh, I Booyah to save my life. Booyah the knot. I got it.
Damn. Zap got me. Nice. One more zone.
I can't. They had height.
Careful, Cougar. You're alone in there.
Yep. Got it. Whoa!
Left.
I got pushed off.
Got 52 gal.
Sorry I'm late. I was busy with something. Sorry, Teach.
Knot's below me on the right.
Don't let it happen
somewhere.
again. Oh, that is a zap.
Okay, I got killed with the booyah bomb.
Got one. They're
Booyah
pushing
on the
me.
left side.
2 pushing spinner. 2 pushing spinner. Still spinner. Still spinner.
I can't hit it.
And
No!
there's people left.
They're one shot. No!
They still there?
No way!
Okay,
I
you
killed
traded
them.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I got taken down by 52 gal.
We have a DC.
yeah, I'm
Ooh.
sorry about that.
Oh no, I'm dead here. No, I'm not dead here. Woo!
I got 2. We have
Nice
numbers for
job.
the time being. They jumped out.
In Fight Club. One went in Fight Club. There's another one.
Zap
Yeah, I
is
took one
their
down.
sniper spinner.
Fight Club, Fight Club, Fight Club.
Nozzle noses and fight club.
I...
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I couldn't go after that, sorry. They're chasing me left.
Oh, I'm on spinner.
Nice
Got him.
pick. Good stuff, good stuff. Not down, I'm down to baller. Just the one, and they're behind left, and they're jumping to him. Back left, back left, back left.
They're over here.
Ah, I can't.
I traded.
I had ink on my feet.
Yeah, nothing I can do there. Good try, good try. The thing about Fight Club is that everybody understands that call out without having to be aware of what it means beforehand. You're just like, oh yeah, that's what that is. You don't have to talk about Fight Club.
You just know.
I don't think that's the official name for it, but you know your Fight Club when you see it. Exactly.
Yeah, that literally happened to me. I don't know what's Fight Club. I literally just understand it at the first try.
So, Tanya, how are things going?
I'm getting in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to get rid of those two in Fight Club. One was jumping. I stopped them, but the other one did got me.
Yeah. For those who
tried
may
to
not
get-
know, Fight Club is the area directly underneath the zone with the grading down there. It's very scrappy. If you get down there, it's melee only.
Basically. I could
Like-
not go down there. I would like the one that did go down there. I flicked off the wall. They came back up, but the flick didn't hit them enough to one-shot splat them. So I'm like, now they're just gonna run around down there and get another jump in.
Game audio should still be on. I think I'm seeing it. It is quiet, so that you can hear us over it. But I don't think it's completely gone. Yeah, it's still up there. Okay. Yeah, just making sure we didn't lose the capture card again. So that would be a pain in the butt.
QR brush, by the way, on their team, or not QR, respawn punisher, RP. What was I saying QR for? Well, I got the
One
brush.
on the left.
Now they
Matt,
are punished.
it's-
Ha 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 ha.
Got the Hydra. Thank you, aim RNG, because I probably didn't actually hit that shot. I bet I can get this blaster. I did
Oh
not
yeah, I
get this
hate the
blaster.
blaster.
Brush on right. They're dropping out. They're ballering onto zone.
Blaster and
Oh, I fell
Blob
down.
on Blaster, Blob, and Hydra are on the
Oh, what?
the top left.
Wait, I got down with that baller on a wall. I think I was peeking.
Watch out for missiles.
Bombs.
Blob is on their spinner, and that's what's painting so
Someone's
much.
on the left.
Oh, there we
We're
go.
two down on zone. That jump is better have a splashdown. Yeah, there we go.
It did.
Oh, I got double splat. Let's go.
Done.
Yeah, I got assisted on one of them and got the Hydra in return, so. I got mines on left and right. Oh, hello, Brush.
My default call out is that jump is dead, but then I was like, wait, this is a splashdown.
I turned the left.
Yeah, Blob is trying to bomb rush in. Good pick.
Oh,
Hydra
Blob.
dropped left.
oh my God, what?
Actually, no, they're not all the way down.
Oh, it's the blaster.
Oh,
I
got
cannot
you,
with
Brush.
that blaster.
I'm sad.
Literally, blasters are like my #1 enemy.
Welcome to my world.
Alright.
Oh my God, finally.
No, I tried to jump and...
Someone who understands me.
Okay, we're going here.
I-
We're gonna lose zone there.
I don't think
What
so.
do you mean?
Oh! Blaster, blaster. Oh
Fight
my
club,
God,
there we go.
let's go.
We're
Let's
gonna lose
go.
zone here. What do you mean? We have a splashdown on zone.
Oh, Fight Club the movie. Fight Club is it's a good movie, but you've gotta recognize that, like, because there are some people who get entirely the wrong idea of what that movie is about, and it's kind of scary. It's a very like violent, gross, hyper masculine movie, and it's meant to critique that worldview, but some people just like read it unironically as not even a criticism of what the main characters are doing. And it when you run into someone like that, that's uncomfortable.
I'm so satisfied how I splatted the blaster in Fight Club.
What the movie's about, all I know is the theme music. I couldn't tell you what the theme music was. Yeah, the movie is literally about two guys who start a fight club where they literally just like bare knuckle beat the heck out of each other in some like
Oh.
grimy basement somewhere, and
Guys?
start getting more and more guys into it.
That is a quick respawn arrow
Oh.
spray. I'm seeing the right thing this time. It's three mains of QR.
I'm in Fight Club. I am afraid.
I didn't see the.
I traded
there's
it.
There's another one there.
That is the one place where you don't want to fight an arrow spray because it always has range.
Uh-oh.
That Luna don't want
Yep.
to stay there. Neither do. Oh, no.
Thank you
no,
all.
Wow, that's
No.
not
Thank you
happening.
all.
No. No. Oh my god.
Oh my god. There we
There's
go.
the bucket. Left.
Got one.
Left
One on
is the
zone
blaster.
still.
I'm down.
They're in Fight Club now. Oh, one on me. Got him. There's still one underneath. Yes, there is.
One's in their court.
They're on right
Oh,
zone.
No. No.
On right zone
Oh.
still. On right zone still.
Oh, let's go.
Still another one. Still another one. Ah!
Got it.
Thank you.
That was a quick reflex of a splashdown cancel. Holy. I had no charge for that either.
One on snipe. They dropped out right.
Oh, I see. They're by me. Oh, I have no charge.
Oh,
no.
what?
No charge.
Blaster down.
Oh my god, I fell to my death.
I'm in
with that
behind them on
splashdown.
right.
Okay, another one.
Got one.
Here.
Got two.
Nice. There's one to the
Another
left.
one on the wall. Hit him twice. Or once.
Oh, there we go.
Twice would kill him. I am playing.
Blaster's on their spinner.
that kind of
Blaster's
weapon.
on their spinner. Blaster's coming to me. Oh.
Got one.
Yo.
Got two.
Yo.
P90 on left.
The what?
That's the gun that is modeled after.
Ah. Ooh, tried to splash down. Not today. That's a Luna. Hello, Luna.
And one on right. Last one on
And
right. Last one on right.
One's going their spinner.
They missiled.
I
They
can't hit
solo
the-
missiled me. Watch out behind you, Debbie.
Oh,
I traded.
too late because there was one coming.
Oh, that happened.
Yeah, I was super jumping to you, and then you backed up into the missiles that were landing on me.
Ah.
Oh, I got
We got it though. Let's go.
I got triple. Oh my god. Nice.
Oh my God, Vaz, stop.
Great job, Kugersy.
Thanks.
Just add 14 to that with the missile kill on me.
Yep.
Dude, I have a clip on an SD card from, like an old SD card from that had the Switch, where I killed the whole squad with a splat bomb.
That's insane.
Yeah. I'm so proud of that.
If I could VC with friends, Splatoon would be 100% less stressful. Here's what you do. You go on one of the Discord servers, and you make squid friends, and then you VC with your squid friends. Boom. There you go.
Nice.
Sorry you didn't make it, Jamie, but happy for Miss Popgun. Miss Popgun is good gamer. Now you asking for too much. It's the best Discord for this game. There are a number of them. The one I would recommend the most right now is
Whoa,
probably
what the hell?
Academy, but there's also what was the new one that Squid's
Stronghold.
Stronghold. Yeah, it was like Arena Stadium. They're going to be really active in the near future. They're still working out the kinks a little bit on some of their
Oh, I'm behind.
I couldn't get it.
features, but
Yeah, I got down with the Splatter Shot Pro.
what I would actually go and try to do is get Inkopolis Crosswalk, I think it is, where there are a bunch of different Discord servers.
Go for the booyah bomb on us on the left.
Fucking missiles.
There's armor.
This one.
Use that to your advantage. There's one on the right coming on you, Jim.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Thanks
I
for
got
the call,
him.
Debbie. Ah, I'm down to bomb or
Behind
something.
the pillow.
Yeah.
Woo!
One right stack. We're two down. They're two down. 2v2.
Got me. Take that. Just
Top
me.
One
right,
coming
top
out
right,
left,
right
so
ahead.
we've got
One
zone
on the
control for now.
left, Yeah. I'm gonna go to the left.
I'm missile on the left.
There's a jump
watch
on
out.
right.
Whoa.
They're gonna get out on right court, right court, right court.
I got
they're targeting
dualies
me.
from street.
Oh, they're two down. They're targeting me. I'm distracting him.
Yeah,
Pushing
the pro's
street,
on the
pushing
left.
street. I'm behind it. Push in, Tanya. Nice, nice. We got him.
So there we go. I got one.
Beautiful.
Armor.
Still one on
I
right.
guess we didn't need it.
Last one right. Last one right.
On the right?
I hit him twice. He's weak. Got him.
Okay, lockout.
Nice.
There's snipe.
Someone's coming in, K-Pro. Come on. I need to not
got
get
one.
distracted by the bomb. Alright.
Junior's
I'm
weak up
gonna
there.
Try and back them up.
Watch out for bomb. Watch out for bomb. Nice.
One behind us.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
There
can't.
was
Oh,
a... Oh, you got it.
paint
Alright,
zone.
sit down.
Paint zone.
I'm gonna
Oh!
head there.
I
I
got
almost got
3.
killed.
Alright.
Top left.
Got him.
They just dropped on the top left.
hit him once.
Come on
Got
the
him.
left.
There we go. Armor.
They're coming.
One coming right on me. Right alley. Got
Alright.
it. Top
Nice.
left. Snipe 2. Jim, you're gonna get pinched.
That's
Oh, they
okay. I
just
have a
kinda-
wall.
They just bypassed you like entirely.
Yep. I had a wall. It was fine. One top left got me.
Yeah.
Two top left.
Top left.
Dapples and K-Pro. They're dropping.
Uh,
Good job.
All
Yeah, they're going in one by one at this point.
Oh, I got traded. Oh, I almost traded.
Hold on. No, don't worry.
Go.
Don't
It's
worry.
alright.
Yeah, we got it.
I was just like, as soon as I get a quarter charge, the one right in front of me is down, and then I might have traded with the K-Pro, but I mean...
Man talks about Splatoon discords and doesn't even mention Squid Schools? Okay, okay, I guess I do need to chill. You're right, you're right. It's the best Discord server for Splatoon, guys! It's ours!
I mean...
Should play tent
I'm
if you
not
like
gonna
having a wall
lie.
this much.
It is pretty good bringing a bunch of people
I don't like the
together.
wall that much.
Oh, I hate
I'm
wall.
not that committed.
I think it's good for like a little ambush. The wall, like I think it's the Camelton.
All right,
Oh.
so first of all, we're gonna go on to the VOD review right now, but I got an announcement before then, and I want to. I think what I'm gonna do. I think I'll do this in a tweet. So I'll probably make the tweet and link it in a second. But here's what's going on. I'm planning on doing a new content series because I realized something. I've still got the Switch that I used to make the How to Get Out of Ranked series, and it's on a family plan. So I can create multiple accounts on that same Switch and like start over Splatoon files and just delete the old ones and make new ones. So I'm thinking of doing a series where I pick different weapons that I don't play and try to grind those up through ranked to ideally get to X rank on weapons I don't play. And what I'm hoping to do with that is to show the learning process, show like how I'm approaching it, show what carries over from one weapon to another, and hopefully kind of get some guest lecturers on about those weapons and showcase the kind of basics of how to play them at a competitive level. So I'm definitely going to do that because I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to learn a lot from doing it, and I think I also can make a daily YouTube video out of that sort of thing. The question is, which weapons do I play? And that's where you guys come in. So I'm going to put a tweet out there right now.
And here come all of the arrow sprays. I appreciate it.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my-
And there's one YouTuber.
Not like I'm. Oh, that's a good one.
All right. So I just tweeted, and I am going to post the link to that tweet in the chat. Everybody go and put the weapon that you want to see me grind up to X rank for the purposes of educating the people. What is it that you guys want to see me play? So, link is right there in chat. I look forward to seeing all of your silver arrow spray or whatever later on. For the record, if it changes anybody's mind, I have actually played Aerospray through my placements, and it would have stayed in X rank. So it is definitely something I am capable of doing. And I have done before. It's honestly probably one of the easier ones for me because it's just a short-range shooter. It's very similar to what I already play. The one that I'm like, man, I do not think I can get this to X rank at my current level of skill, is definitely Chargers. That's the one where I will probably hit a wall around like S or S plus at my current skill level, maybe even earlier than that. So that's one that would take a pretty significant amount of effort if somebody really wants to see me struggle. But I would love to play buckets, I would love to play rollers, I would love to play all sorts of different things and just experiment and learn the game in a new way. So we'll put the tweet out there one more time. And I'm going to put this in the Discord server as well, so I don't have to keep spamming it in chat. Okay. 17 notifications on Twitter. Very good, very good. Excellent.
They're all Aerospray.
they're all Aerospray. You don't even need to check. No need to count.
They did actually put a legit one under Aerospray.
Of course, of course. All right. My opinion is unswayed, says Ashik. When are you becoming a Crapit main? I like Crapit. I bet I could make it pretty far with Crapit. Like, I think I easily get into S+, at the very least, on that weapon. Maybe further than that. So, that's a cool weapon. Alright. So that's that piece of information. One more thing that I want to just put out there really quickly is that, especially in some servers that I've been a part of, there has been a large increase in Discord hacks, in scams where you'll get a message that says something like, hey bro, I saw X, Y, and Z scandalous thing from your DMs that got posted in the exposed channel of this Discord server. How do you answer that, man? I'm gonna unfriend you if you can't explain yourself. If you see something like that, do not click the link. Just don't. You don't have to click links that people send you over Discord, especially people who are strangers that don't normally talk to you, and also don't normally talk like that, and also, like, if they're, like, all bro, and you are not male, you know, don't click the link. Delete the message, or, like, unfriend the person or something so you can't accidentally click the link. It's relatively easy, but if you're being impersonated or whatever, they expose your messages. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a link to the Squid School server. But
Yeah.
the point stands. You don't have to click the link. Send the link to someone you hate easy. Okay, Vaz. I cannot condone this behavior. Jem would do. Vaz! Hey! I can't. God dang it, I hate all of you. Okay.
But we appreciate you.
We love you too.
This is just all their form of love for you.
Welcome to parasocial relationships. I love you, but you're all terrible. That's a good way to put it, Ashik. That's a line that you have to go back to sometimes. All right. Well, let's. All right. I don't have any of the VODs pulled up anymore because the computer crashed. So I'm going to have to pull those up again really quick.
F in the chat.
And make sure not to leak Discord DMs. Also important. Okay. So Tania, Kugersy, do you have any preferences? Who goes first here? Does anyone need to like leave early or something like that, or something like that? Or you want to go get a drink and so someone else can go first?
I guess.
No, whoever goes first, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I need to go eat.
Oh, okay. So you want to go first? You said, Tania.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
if it can, please. Thank
That is all of the justification that we needed. So, here we go. Don't worry. This is just as planned. There we go. See, it worked. Okay. Very nice. Very poggers. Okay.
you.
Let's get Restream chat up
Are you
here.
gonna
And then maybe...
stream it for us? Yeah.
Yes. That is the next step. Don't need that. And as per usual, for those of you who are not currently involved with the VOD review, if y'all wouldn't mind just keeping an eye out for questions in the chat. I'm always happy to answer questions. I'm just not always able to read them because this is full screened and that's the only way it's going to fit on OBS well. So that would be nice if y'all can just keep an eye out, and if there's anything, you know, that would be an interesting question to answer on stream, then we're pulling that up. Okay. So here we go with Tania's VOD review. This is Humpback Pump Track Zones. Tania is here playing the Neo Splash as they were before. Relatively short-range comps except for the Explo on their team. So something that's going to be helpful for you to think about is if you play in front of the Explo, they're going to be able to give you some backup. You get into a fight, as long as you can just kite back, all of a sudden there's going to be a big old like splat bombs worth of paint landing at your opponent's feet at random. And that can be kind of nice for helping win fights. So that's often where I will like to go. Also on the rollout, it's nice to kind of figure out where are my teammates going. Granted, you are one of the frontline weapons, and so it may well be that you are leading the charge here. But here we see that one of your teammates is peeled off to the right, one of your teammates is peeled off to the left. So you don't have a ton of support right this second, and so we want to be a little bit careful. That paint over the right-hand side, you can definitely see that that has alerted some players to your presence. They're already like pushing the zone from here, and since you don't have any backup, I'm looking at this like it's a 2v1 until I have more information. And so I would probably want to like get to this point and immediately back up. So the blaster pushes really aggressively, and unfortunately there's nobody watching that. That honestly, I would be surprised to see a Luna Blaster going that far out onto the zone. You know, as the Luna Blaster player, I would be worried that I'm going to get shot if I go out there. So it was very aggressive, and I'm not super surprised you got caught out by it. But one thing that, you know, could in theory have helped you there was playing a little bit more around your teammates so that you weren't isolated, so that you waited to see where are they going, when are they going in, before you tried to push anything too far. So you see right now that your brush is flanking behind them. Unfortunately, they're doing this flank even though you're down, and so now they're at a disadvantage. So I'm keeping an eye on that and seeing, are they going to stagger or are they going to play it safe right now? And it looks like they popped Baller here. You can kind of tell from the way that they moved, and now you can see the Baller. So you pop Baller as that brush in a situation where they're in trouble and they're trying to get out of trouble and get back to safety. So you can probably assume that there are some players pretty close to them trying to shoot at them. I would be beelining over there to try and help that brush, make sure they get out alive instead of staggering. In this position,
Okay.
like... Sorry, huh? Did you have a question? I thought I heard something over the mic. Ooh.
No.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't hear anything for a second. I was like, oh no, did Discord cut out? All right. So we're on right bunker here. Right now, knowing I've got like 2 teammates in front of me here, I'm not going to bunker at all. The reason to go to bunker is if it's not safe to go further forward onto the zone. But you've got 2 teammates in front of you, and they're fighting. So if anything good is going to happen right now, it's going to come from us all fighting together here. And you kind of want to get forward and figure out a position so that you can get in and join that. That line of paint there that you shoot as you're landing. I know you're probably thinking like, oh, I just want to paint the zone here. But I would probably want to get a little closer to the zone before I start shooting so that I'm not giving my position away. And then once I do get to the zone and I'm right at the edge of it, my paint is going to... more of my paint is going to hit the zone. Like if you're firing from bunker back here, with range as short as the Neo splashes, half of that paint is going to fall in between you and the zone. So you're not going to get as much out of it, and you're also giving your position away.
Just a second, Tania's in the waiting room.
Okay. Yeah, I thought something might have happened there. We're going to fix that real quick. Sorry, Tanya, I just became aware that you were in the waiting room. When did you cut out? How much do I want to rehash there?
I think you were talking about the line of paint.
Right, okay. Like half of it is going to fall between you and the zone. And so you're going to get less paint on the zone, and it's also going to make them aware of where you are if you paint early. So I would probably wait until I get to the zone to start painting. But that's kind of a small optimization. It's just, I think firing the line of paint is dangerous because that's giving your position away. And that already got you in trouble once against the Luna Blaster at the very beginning at the rollout. All right, so I like that you see that a teammate went down there, and you're immediately moving over because you know that something's coming from there. And you get shots on them, and you would have had them if not for the baller. You miss a few shots here. What the Luna Blaster really should have done there was just fire a second shot. Because with how many shots you missed there, a second shot from them actually would have splatted you. So this is kind of a panic baller, and they actually miss an opportunity to get a pick here. If you start missing, especially against a weapon like this, it's extremely important to just disengage immediately. But it ends up working out. The slosher doesn't catch you. Let's see. Yeah, and you're just kind of trying to figure out which direction am I looking so that I can get away from both of them. One unfortunate part about having to move over there is that you can't see where the enemies are anymore. You don't know where they're at, so you don't know if they're rushing you down. Like, a tri-slosher pushing you down is going to be really scary. And in a position like this, like, firing back like this is something that's going to make you more visible to them, because number one, when you fire, you stand up out of the ink. Number two, they're going to see the shots. If the tri-slosher had kept chasing you, which they really should have, I can't believe that they're not chasing you here, then that would have kind of given your position away. And you're firing shots without really knowing where they are. You're kind of trying to guess where they're shooting at. So in a position like that, you might want to stay squid form a little bit more, try and stealth around until they commit to something. Also something to keep in mind, so the missiles go on you right here. Be very careful about running behind teammates when you have missiles, because their thought is going to be, all right, I'll just let the missiles fall where I'm standing and then I'll back up. But if when they back up there are more missiles behind them that they had no way of seeing, that's when missiles catch people. So I don't think... Oh, great, car alarm. Neat. I don't think that ends up hurting your teammate here, but that's something to be aware of. One big thing that... I'm actually going to send you a link to a YouTube channel It's of a Japanese Neo Splash player who has hit 3,000 XP. And
that's great.
The main thing that I want you to go and look at in their VODs is how they're using Bomb Rush. Because here's my take about what you're doing with the Bomb Rush right now. It feels like you're holding a fire hose, right? You know, fire hose is really, really powerful, take a pretty good stance to be able to control. And you feel like, oh God, I'm a little out of control. I'm going to spray this somewhere. And you seem kind of like there's some nervous energy about where you're throwing the bombs at. And you can actually throw them a lot more deliberately. Like, for example, okay, I can't back up that much, but so that bomb that you throw right there is probably completely off the zone. There was definitely a bomb in there that was off the zone, right? So you only get so many bombs. Try and place them deliberately. I would say like it's probably more valuable early on for learning the special to place them deliberately, even at the cost of not throwing as many, and to figure out like your placements for each one so they're most impactful, and then speed it up once you've got your decision-making process figured out. There's another one later on that I will talk about at more length, but I think that it would be very, very instructive just to watch how a top player uses that special. Really great pick right there, by the way. You spot them out because you can see this is a great example of why not to fire shots in the ways that I've been talking about. You see here, there's a player here, and you see here, there's a player here. These guys don't have any shot of capping the zone from where they're at right now. There's a bomb rush on the zone. They're out of position. They're firing shots up here anyway. What does that do? Gives away their position. You are able to rush these players down because you know exactly where they are because they fired shots that weren't doing anything. And so you get this guy, and then they're running away from the missiles. They probably could have helped fight there a little bit, and you, honestly, I might have probably continued to chase that. I guess maybe you're worried about the zone, but it's a big numbers advantage on the zone right now because you've picked one of them and the other one's out of play. So even if you go and chase that, you still have two teammates behind you to win the 2v1. So that's my thinking on it. I'd probably go after that guy, but I would also hear out other opinions on the subject. Especially if Brock has other opinions on the subject, because he is a better Neo Splash player than me. Okay, nice. So we spot that, let's see, I think the armor comes out from the other team here, from the Tri-Slosher. Yeah, there it is. So they make themselves known over the window, which is kind of silly because they're a Tri-Slosher and they can barely even hit past trench. And then they pop armor, and that armor reveals where everybody is, which is cool because now you're just like, oh, I just walk over here and shoot in this direction and they're looking the wrong way and we laser everybody down. And that's awesome. Against opponents that are resisting against you, I would caution you about there's some situations in general throughout this match where you are continuing to fire the weapon despite the fact that you're missing. And you've got to be careful with that. It's a lot better when the opponent is looking away from you and not dodging around or anything. Like, you can afford to take a little bit more time and get your aim on since this guy's focusing in the wrong direction. But as soon as this guy were to turn their attention at you, you'd want to have the wherewithal to get away and let your teammate take the easy shots rather than trying to keep your shots on and basically either trade or go down cleanly because you had walk and shoot syndrome.
Yeah. So
you get those picks. I would say once this guy goes down, you back up like all the way around to the back of the zone. You can probably just turn directly around. If you go back to like behind the zone like you do here, this is a lot of time that you're spending not in between the enemy team and the zone. And you're not going to find a lot of your color paint over here to get back. You're basically kind of surrendering a good aggressive position because instead of just like painting up the wall and going up onto the, aggressive positioning that you've earned for yourself by getting a numbers advantage, you're backing up behind your X-Blow. And see, now it feels like you're on the back foot because you're zoned out all of a sudden. So that bomb is landing in your trench. That bomb's like barely doing anything for you. And that's the kind of example that I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Like, one of those bombs is like way behind you into your own base. I like the idea here. So you see that the baller comes out. You're like, okay, that's fine. We're not going to lose zone to this. And you just shark a little bit down below the level of the stage so that the explosion isn't going to hit you. And then you're there immediately ready to get the splat. Now, the immediately ready to get the splat part could use a little bit of work here because you don't have your aim set. Something that Brock actually and Ham taught me on the top 500 video is to always try to get your reticle where it's going to need to be next, where it's going to be useful for it to be next. And since you know that your immediate plan is I'm going to splat this Luna Blaster as soon as they pop out, just as the baller is starting to explode, right here, just like get your reticle where it's going to need to be, and then instead of like trying to jump forward at them, you can just like swim forward, immediately have your aim on. No need to concern yourself with the movement or anything because you're already lasering them. I think looking at it again, I think what's actually happening here is that is your plan, but then you back up too far and now you're hitting the floor. And so in trying to readjust, you kind of overcorrect a little bit, and you can see they're below you right now. And so you turn around. This actually could have been really bad because what might have happened here is your entire team like clumps up. Yeah, as soon as I see this player here, I don't want to be anywhere near them because a Luna Blaster hits us both at the same time. And like walking towards them like this, if the missiles go off, if like my shots are getting blocked by a teammate, if this goes any worse than it does right now, this could be a multi-kill for the enemy team as opposed to just being a one-for-one trade. And something about missiles. There are a couple of situations actually here where you die to missiles in a way that's preventable. So with missiles, what you have to remember is that if you try to move forward to escape the missiles cut off your escape route behind you. So if the missiles are going to land on you and you move forward towards the enemy team, towards the direction of danger, if you miscalculated and you can't move towards the enemy team, and you try and move backwards, you're going to end up running into the missiles. Now, this isn't exactly the enemy team here we're talking about, but what's happening is there's a teammate in front of you that you see who has missiles on them as well. You want to run away from that teammate. So if you back up to the back right, there's no way this hits anybody else. But because you're moving in the direction of your teammates, moving in the direction of danger, those missiles shock you and force you backwards into your own missiles. So whenever the missiles are going off, always run in the opposite direction that your teammates did if possible. Obviously, that does make you easier to push as the enemy team because you're split that way, and that's something to consider. Maybe you and the teammate run in the same direction so that they all fall on top of each other and overlap. That's hard to coordinate, but sometimes you can pull it off. Don't try that with backliners too much. They might not like that, but basically be aware that like you have control over where those missiles land, and you also have control over how much space you have based on which direction you run away from them. So enemy team should be able to cap here because you've got numbers disadvantage. So you've got a good lead, and a teammate is popping off, getting a flank, 1 for 2 trade is fine because you're still going to have numbers on that. And again, we go over to the right. You've got an advantage right now. Now's the time to be pushing this advantage, not to be taking a defensive posture. Whew, okay, nice. That is spooky because as soon as you see the Luna Blaster pop up here, you're like, well, that could have killed me. But you laser them down immediately, and you do it exactly right. You rush a blaster, and you camera fight them. What camera fighting means is you get so close to them that it's really easy for you to throw their aim off wildly by taking a single step. If you're directly in front of someone, you take one step, and now you're behind them, their aim is 180 degrees off. And all it took was one step to get there. And that's one of the major weaknesses of blasters. It's really, really hard for them to hit something at point-blank range because it's so easy for you to just move out of the way of where they're trying to aim it. And that's exactly what you do to this Luna, whether you intended to or not. You get in at this weird little diagonal that it's hard for them to track, and they completely miss their shots, and you're able to get rid of them. So the missiles get fired on you. At this point, I would want to back up. Reason being, if I move forward at all, I'm putting my missiles on the zone. And I think kind of the same thing happens here, where you've got your missiles on you right here. And the direction you decide to run is towards danger, towards the zone, towards what your enemies are looking at. Well, if you run into enemies and they make you go, oh shoot, I can't be here, where do you run? Back into the missiles. That, I think, is the best example of that happening to you in this match. So now you're in a 2v3. Your Explo is doing a really good job of painting and holding it down so that they can't be scoring points during this time. That's, you know, Explos out there, we appreciate you. We see you in the hard work that you do, lobbing blobs. All right, nice. So it's a 3v3 situation. Your teammate caps zone with the special. It can be nice sometimes to like use the zone cap to immediately rush forward because all of a sudden there's a lot of paint here with you. But I don't blame you for being a little bit apprehensive about that idea, especially since the next thing that they do is pop armor. So this flank right here, you are missiled. And so what you have to remember is that there is someone on the enemy team who knows exactly where you are. So going for a flank right off of the bat of the missiles, somebody knows where you are. You are lucky that it didn't happen to be these people. But if you were to go for a play like that, you know, you're pushing into enemy ink, and I'm the K-shot, and I'm like right over here, I'm like, oh, hey, free pick. Because I can pre-fire exactly where you're moving.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yep.
Tania again, disconnected.
Thank you. I will sit tight until Tania is able to make it back.
And there's a buy followers bot on chat.
Ooh, cool.
Cool. Beans.
Big Nut Alex. Goodbye, Big Nut Alex. Yeah, and Brock adds, same thing if you jump over them. You can't aim straight up. So if you're moving in a line over the top of them, you can mess with their aim and positioning. Inklings do have hops. Like, have you ever thought about the fact that an Inkling can just jump over the head of another Inkling? Like, while we're getting Tania back here, let's just look at this for a second. Like, this is like comical. Woo! 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 I'm kicking him in the head. Going all Karate Kid on his something or other. Anyway, welcome back, Tania. So was there anything that you missed there, Tania, that I should go back to and make sure to reiterate? Tania? Oh, no. Oh, Tanya's muted. something or other. A wink. Right. The only reason that I would recommend in this situation jumping, by the way, is that the splash is 100% accurate even in the air. Like I said in my recent TikTok shilling. So that's something that weapon can do that other weapons probably don't want to try and do. It's not the worst thing. Aim RNG matters more the longer the more distance there is between you and your opponent, because the shot has more time to go off. That's one of the reasons why, like, an arrow spray at point blank range has really high DPS. It's when you get further away with the arrow spray, even if you're still in range in theory, that the shots are more likely to skew away. So anyway, here we go. Let's go back into it. And we can actually hear in the VOD that we're kind of just like mashing the R button right now. Tap, 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 tap. And what I think would be a good training exercise at the very least is to only press the R button when you are aimed at a location you want to throw a bomb at, to just throw it like you would throw a normal bomb instead of just like, it's out there somewhere. I knocked over my Amogus.
So one question. So what is the most efficient way to use a bomb rush, at least in this mode?
That is a big ol' it depends. There is a lot of complexity to the way that you can use a bomb rush. You can use it primarily for outpainting an opponent. You can use it to displace opponents. You can use it straight up for slaying opponents if you are able to corner people in the right way, or if you're using it in conjunction with your team pushing. It is really dependent on the situation. And there is a whole video to be made about that by someone who's better at using bomb rush than me. But I do have one suggestion for one of the bomb rushes coming up here. Something that I have seen work very well. I think it's this one, actually. I think there's like a bomb rush here that happens. Well, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. So we're doing this bomb rush from this position right here. And we notice that there is someone to our back left shooting us. Good job responding to that and getting out of the way. Now, you want to think carefully about when you decide to turn around here, because if you turn around right now, you're potentially a bigger target than they are. Because you have high ground, but also if you aim at them, you're going to shoot the floor. So they might have better shots on you from here. And the push around the box here isn't necessarily a bad idea, but right now they're behind cover and you're much more out in the open. If you're going to take this fight, you want to be like right side peeking. You want to be like hugging really close to this box, or even like on top of the box or something, trying to flush them out. Because when you fire shots right there, you're just hitting cover. So you want to get to a place where you are actually just only gun around the corner and not whole self. Because they get to just kind of pick their spot here and engage on you. If they have their aim on there, you lose the fight right then and there. And you do lose it here after they reposition. Now, fortunately, they decide, I gotta pick. It's time to fire missiles and push forward, not realizing that their whole team was dead. So your team is able to clean that up, but loses control of the zone anyway? Question mark? Okay. So you've got a little bit of an advantage here in terms of numbers. They popped armor. So you should expect them to push in at that point. I like that you're throwing that bomb because that's going to try and discourage someone from pushing over in that direction. I would probably try to keep my attention on that, though, because just a single burst bomb when they have armor probably isn't going to discourage them completely from trying to push in that direction. You could probably sit there and, like, as they try to regain that ground, throw another burst bomb at them. It's kind of like, you got to show them, no, I'm actually serious. No, you can't stand there. If you just throw one burst bomb and then run away, they're like, okay, they say I can't stand there, but watch me. But this way, it's like, oh, you are actually going to defend that angle. Okay, I see. I understand now. Because look, they just dropped down over right with 2 of them. So it is 3v3 at the moment. Actually, less than that. Something that you probably should focus more on doing at this phase in the game is painting the zone. Like, I like that you're painting it there. But, like, right here, instead of throwing this bomb at... I guess you're maybe trying to get it over bunker, but it misses, and also the zone is getting uncapped in the meantime. And you're pretty close to KO. If you're able to stall it a little bit, that's going to go a long way. Because between you and the Explo, or who is it that's alive here? It is the Explo. Between you and the Explo, I actually trust you to be able to cap the zone, despite the fact that they might have numbers, because they have a Luna Blaster. That's not going to paint as well. And a Try isn't great at painting the zone either. So, might have been able to, like, cap and put down another penalty or something like that before you had to run away. Speaking of running away, though, in a position like this, you're really, really exposed out here. You have not a lot of cover. If you're going to take this route, this is a flank route. And you're not going for the flank. You're kind of vacillating back and forth. If someone pushes you from the front, you have to drop all the way back into trench, which is a position that you basically never want to be in. If someone pushes you from the side here, you have nowhere to go but to drop down into pit here, which again is completely out of play for a little while. So if you are going to retreat, you want to retreat to a position that allows you to back further up. Because right now you're kind of cornering yourself by being here. And you see paint to your back left, and you're like, oh no, I need to get away. And you run right into a baller. I was talking a little bit, I think, with Wieners about camera control. This is a sort of camera control situation. You want it tilted just a little bit higher, because right now the heads-up display is hiding a lot of what's going on the zone. Tip it just a little bit up, and you'll be able to see more of what's going on over there without compromising your ability to move or see what's below you or anything like that. Nice. You're doing a really good job of taking fights when your opponents aren't looking at you. Like, as soon as you see that, you're always going for it, and you're generally getting picks for it, which is really good. Nice. You spot that your teammates are in a fight, and you go to try and help it. Okay, this bomb rush right here is the one I'm going to talk about. So, you're clearly targeting these players with this bomb rush. If you throw all of the bombs right on window, what's going to happen is they're going to have the option to either back up or push forward. Now, if they back up, that's totally fine. You don't need to, like, try to control their ability to back up. You want them to back up. You want them to get away from the zone. Even if this doesn't kill anybody, if it stalls the zone, you're still accomplishing something. What might be a problem for you is if they push forward. Because if they push forward, then you probably have to abandon the whole bomb rushing idea to zip away from them and use your main weapon. And you don't get as much value out of the special at the very least. And that's if you don't get rushed down because you get surprised. In order to prevent them from moving forward at you, you can throw one bomb at the window to establish the idea you can't be here, but then throw the next bomb in front of them where they would be likely to drop if that was the direction they were trying to go. That way, they can't be there either. And so if they decide after this first bomb, I want to move forward, that they want to that they like are going to drop down over the ledge, then they have to contend with another bomb down there, and that messes them up, and they can't just rush you. So I would be thinking like bomb on window, bomb below in trench, or maybe on the slope so that it catches someone as they drop down, and then another bomb up at window to maintain that control of window. Going back and forth a couple of times. I usually if I'm going to try something like that, I'm going back and forth with about 4 bombs and then looking someplace else. Because if you throw 4 bombs, one here, one here, one here, one here, they're going to get the idea, okay, I've got to back up. And then I start throwing it in other places. Because at that point, someone might be trying to flank me from the left. Or I might be trying to get paint someplace other than those 2 locations. But what happens here is these bombs don't really stop them from moving in on the left-hand side. You could have had bombs in like this location to prevent these guys from being here in the first place. They got to basically just move back to their defensive position to wait out your bomb rush instead of getting backed up all the way onto plat where they can't even see anything. But good job spotting that they had moved over here. Bad job on them spotting you. You get an easy pick on the missiles user. Now, you see that guy over there, and again, you don't chase, which I'm a little bit more concerned about you dropping down here than I am about you not chasing them. Not chasing them is probably fine, although I think you do have an advantage, especially peeking around this cover from the right. But what you need to be concerned about is if you drop down and then decide to take a fight over here, they could drop into pit and come up behind you while you do that. You want to be keeping tabs on that player. You want to know where they are if you're going to do anything around here aggressively. This player is marked. So this player, you should know exactly where they are. And if you're going to engage, if you're going to get anywhere near them, you should have your aim set on them already. Instead of trying to like put a burst bomb out or anything like that, like you drop close to this player, you're going to end up in a fight with them. Get your reticle onto them now so that you're not trying to fiddle with it and end up trading to the try. That could have been an easy laser if you had just spotted them and focused them immediately. It only goes south because we're not getting our aim set for that fight. And maybe it was that, maybe like, because depth perception in this game is a pain in the butt. Like, I could totally see it being the case that maybe like they're marked here and you're assuming, oh, they're on the far side of mid right now. They're over by our bunker. This is way too far away for me to have to worry about. But right there, as soon as they jump out, that should be like, oh crap, I'm snapping to them right now. And it takes a little bit of time to get the aim there. So they cap. Your team is trying to hold on to mid and so far doing a pretty good job. Nobody's down. I'm keeping really close tabs on if somebody goes down as I approach. Because as soon as my team ends up at a numbers disadvantage, I do not want to be moving forward. I want to be, painting escape routes and getting out of there. But right now it's a 3v3 situation. We're dropping into trench here. Trench is a position that gets you as the defending team basically nothing except at best a super jump back to spawn. You can't see and paint anything that matters from here. You can't see or paint very much at all, let alone anything that matters. Opponents have height advantage over you. They can just drop a bomb down onto you, and you have a very limited angle where you're going to be able to hit anybody who tries to approach you from the front. So this is a position where you're going to hide. This is a position where you're going when you have gotten pushed off the zone and you have nowhere else to go, and you just need a wall to put in between you and them before you super jump back. But going into here is basically never my game plan. Something that I'm not a huge fan of in terms of camera control is the fact that we can't see their plat right now. I get nervous when I can't have information because I'm like, I don't know where they're coming out. Maybe they're looking at me and they're right in front of me. I think what you're doing is you're looking for places to paint so that you can get special before the enemy team comes in, which is a good thought, but you should be looking to do that while continuing to collect information on their positions. And there's not so much paint in mid that you really need to kind of like beeline for any of it. Okay, it looks like you're going over here. And the thing about going over here is, like, if you had the camera focused on Platt, you would know whether this is safe or not. For all I know, there's a Luna Blaster right here that's going to direct you. Okay, it looks like they ended up in front of you. Whenever you go off from here, know that you can actually make the jump straight from here to mid. You don't have to land in trench. Just, like, hold forward and trust the jump, and you will make it. But because you, like, pop out and stop holding forward and don't stay in squid form, you end up landing in trench instead. Did something just happen to the... Okay, no, we're good. I heard a little pop and thought that maybe they disconnected again. Okay, so we just saw out of the corner of our eyes here, right there, this player pops missiles. I'm going to back up. So these little green boxes, those should be an immediate visual cue, like, oh, this is a player who can't do squat if I rush them right now. I don't know if you can get there fast enough to get it within main weapon range, but you could definitely try to double burst bomb this guy. So that's an option if you do spot that. And again, this is a position where you cannot control the zone. You don't have line of sight on much of what's going on. And from this camera angle, we can't see things. So I'm a little bit nervous. And this just kind of forces us back onto defense. I think you're recognizing, okay, this is the point in the game where I need to back up. It didn't have to be a point in the game where you have to back up if you had been informed of all of the threats that were out there in front of you. But because you cut yourself out of the relevant positions on the map, you left the hot zone and then turned your camera down so you couldn't see anything. Now, yeah, I guess it is the smart thing to retreat because for all you know, there could be danger. But you could have known whether there was danger and played a little bit more aggressively, played a little bit more to maintain the space if you had kept more of an advanced position. This is another issue of trying to spam the bombs. It's that in this state, you're trying to just spam the bombs out there, just throw them out there, and you're not immediately responding when there's a threat. Right now, there are shots that have come over the top and splatted your teammate. You need to like get a main weapon shot down at your feet and zip away from this before you start throwing bombs again. But because you just go into spam the bombs mode and you're also jumping with every throw, that makes you very vulnerable. Every time you jump, you're committing to being basically in that same position for until your feet hit the ground, because you can't swim anymore during all of that time. So if, for example, you jump to throw a bomb and a junior just happens to be rolling a splat bomb in your direction, you literally do not have time to do anything. It is a bomb that will inevitably splat you. Whereas if you're staying grounded more, you have a better chance of having the reaction to swim away from that bomb and survive. Sometimes throwing a bomb when you jump is good because it extends the reach of the bomb by just a little bit, and sometimes you need that. But a lot of people get into the habit of doing that and don't think about when it might be a disadvantage to jump. Okay, so we're coming in. Score is ticking down, so your team is going to need to make a play pretty soon. They throw a bunch of stuff out there. You see a this way, and your teammate is behind them. This is a this way that you listen to. The missiles are so far behind you if you run forward towards danger here that you will actually have some room to back up if you're just going to rush the zone right now. But your teammate is this waying and they're in. If you don't go in and help them, they're going to get splatted alone, and now you're in a 3v4. So it's now or never. Now you got to go. And coming all the way back to bunker and just kind of sitting and waiting here, you're effectively putting your team in a 3v4 for a few seconds here, that in a way that doesn't need to happen. Now, I like that you do end up bomb rushing here. It looks like you tried to bomb rush earlier and missed it and just threw 2 burst bombs instead. Because bomb rush is a special that you can use to just cap the zone. But I think you could be bomb rushing from closer to it. If you just maybe sit behind this wall, throw a couple of bombs, and then if someone rushes you, you shoot at them. But like you have the threat of throwing the bombs for capping the zone. So you'll force them to make like an over-aggressive play, or maybe you'll be able to zone them out into good fights for your teammates or something. But being back here, this is just not the optimal range for your weapon. And at this point, you're at a numbers disadvantage because your team went in without you. And I don't even necessarily think that that's bad on them, because you had the time to get forward and be there for that fight. But because you waited until after they had gone down and then went in yourself and put yourself in a 1v3, now you've staggered in and they're able to get the finishing touch there. They did a really good job of collapsing down and taking that fight. But I think if you apply more pressure while your team is in there, while your team is flanking, they actually have a pretty good shot of holding from there. So that is that VOD review. Do you have any questions for me, Tanya, before we move on to the next one? They have been muted the whole time, so maybe they just can't. Oh, they're unmuted. Still not hearing them, though. If you ever have any questions, Tanya, just feel free to DM me. You know where to find me. You've been watching me for some time, so I have faith. All right. Kugersy.
Kugersy.
Kugersy. I'll get it. I just got to think. A swimming cat, all right? A cougar, sea. Kugersy.
Yep.
So, Clam Blitz Piranha Pit. I made a guide about this. And we've got, is that a vanilla undercover umbrella that they're running? Okay, good. They're running the one that it's like, I guess that's okay. Anyway. So we're playing brush here on Clam Blitz. And so you do the brush thing of running out with the brush down to go and collect clams. Now, I want to talk about self-preservation in especially this VOD review, because look at this freeze frame right now and tell me you are not afraid.
Yes, I was really scared of getting shot, especially by the other brush.
So let's talk about how we can avoid creating horror movies for ourselves. So it's good that you're checking onto the left here, but as soon as you start moving into mid, you want to look where you're going. Your camera's turned a little bit in the wrong direction right now. Right here, as soon as I see there is empty ground in front of me, but there's a lot of green paint, there's a player looking in my direction, I'm turning around immediately right now. This is triggering fight or flight. Like, just the fact that there's this much more green on my screen than there is blue signals to me that I have gone a little too far. And instead we get this kind of Tron moment where the two brushes are just running right next to each other, as if like playing a game of chicken, daring the other one to move to the right. So I run into, like, this was a very funny moment for me. At some point in time, one of you should have stopped rolling and tried to slap each other with the brush. Because at this point, what should be happening is this guy's shooting at you and this guy's shooting at you. So the best you're hoping for is a trade. But what ends up happening is that nobody shoots at each other and everybody just walks away from it. So I guess all's well that ends well. It will not continue to be that way into higher ranks. That will be a play that just gets you splatted off the jump. So the takeaway from here is that you want to have camera control so that you can see a threat earlier, and you want to not get so close to enemy ink and have this immediate, like, reflexive urge to not get so close to an enemy player, especially one that can see you. So we escape from that, and we end up making a power clam. Something that I'm going to talk about at some length in one of the upcoming map modes of the day, and I wish I had talked more about in the actual Clam Blitz video that I have on the channel, is that having a power clam is not as good as you probably think it is. It's important to have enough clams to be able to open the basket, but you don't have to have the power clam until you get to the basket if you just throw clams at another player and make a power clam on the spot. The advantage of that is that you're not revealed to the enemy team the whole time. Right now, the enemy team knows exactly where you are. And yeah, you can zip around and move fast, but a good player is going to be tracking this anchor icon across their screen the whole time. You have lost your ability to sneak up on anybody because you have this now. You're better off throwing this to another player, like maybe your Explosher or something, whose position is going to be more obvious to the enemy team. Because if you try to make any kind of aggressive play right now, and I think you recognize it, because you're hiding behind cover now, if you step out from behind this cover, they can laser you, they can shoot you. They know exactly where you're going. They can predict that you're about to pop out from behind that corner. That is a really good bomb there. You see that a player got splatted on your team, and you immediately go, oh, that's not your bomb, that's actually their bomb. You see that a player got splatted on your team, and you go over there to attack it. Now, counterpoint, this player is a 52 gal that has right side peek advantage on you. If they, see that you have a power clam and you're in this exact position, what's stopping them from just right side peeking the wall and splatting you if your teammate, who you can't see, isn't throwing a bomb on that position? That could have been a fight that they won instead of a fight that they lost, if not for this bomb going out. So I'll be able to point out repeatedly, like, oh, this guy knew where you were because there's a power clam here. And the only reason you get out of there is because they missed their shots because of splashdown. Can a brush actually reach high enough to cancel a splashdown? I'm not sure. Because
yeah, they can.
Yeah, so if they literally just like tilt their controller all the way up in that position, that's actually probably a pretty easy splashdown cancel for them. So that's a position where like good reaction, because that's about the most you were going to be able to do there. I think, if you've got like high level reflexes and really good aim, it's probably possible against that particular player to snap to them and actually mash the ZR button fast enough to get them down before they get shots on you, just from how slowly they moved. But until you're basically significantly mechanically better than the players that you're up against, that splashdown was about the only thing that was going to save you. But even then, they should have been able to stop that. So this is definitely a position where, again, having the power clam makes it so that you would have lost the fight otherwise. The one thing that I think can sometimes work with a power clam, and this isn't a great strategy because you could just do this same exact thing and be stealthy doing it, but if you go in from one direction with the power clam and then another direction with the rest of your team, or one direction with another power clam, you're kind of forcing the team to split themselves and pick which direction they want to go. Counterpoint, you could just flank without the power clam, and if they see you, then the same effect happens. They're still splitting their defense. If they don't see you, now you're in behind them on a flank and you have their backs. So it's still a better idea most of the time to just not have the power clam while you're flanking, but sometimes you can kind of use it as bait and try to manipulate the enemy team with that, and that's an idea. This would be suicidal in an X-rank lobby. This 52 would hit you before you hit the ground. But they're just a little bit out of range, I think, or aiming too high up or something. They don't quite have their aim on, and so you're able to just get down nice and safely. Also, the Glugas player here is a huge threat. They outrange you and they two-shot you, and they're on their own color of ink. So how soon do we see them? We already know that they're under here before we jump over the top. Like, we see them move from here to out of frame. So we know that they're already there. We see some shots over there from the right. Like, pushing this far in, you're just pushing into their range. You're pushing into range where we saw them firing shots here. We saw them moving around here. We see that this is all green. There are a lot of signs here that are telling me this area isn't safe to occupy yet. And moving in there, especially with a power clam, which guarantees basically that they're going to see you in amidst all of their green ink with this glowing blue icon, that this is a situation where you should probably get splatted. All right, I like the idea. You back up, you spot that they're going to be in this vulnerable position in dead center in mid, one of the most dangerous positions on the map, and that you're going to be able to just do the thing where you drop off with the brush and splat them. Now, your teammate ends up getting them, so you end up having to just kind of be like, oh, well, this is awkward, and back up. But not a bad idea at all. And that's something that's very safe to do, even though you have the power clam, because they have a teammate of yours that they have to shoot, and you know that you have immediate kill threat on them as you drop down over the top. So that's pretty good. One thing I will say for splashdown on this map in particular is that splashing down from the top of these ramps makes it a lot harder to cancel. Most weapons don't have the range to do that. So as long as you're not up against like an E-leader player or something that happens to have charge at the time, jumping off of these ramps and then splashdowning is actually usually a pretty safe and reliable play. All right, so your team has a slight numbers advantage, and you know that you've got a teammate who's pushed forward because this player has been taken down recently. So right now, you want to be taking this and moving up a little bit. It's like right now, you've got yourself an advantage. You know, 2 players on the enemy team are down. And then a trade happens, so the numbers advantage is maintained. We're looking away from where the enemy team is going to be right now. Like, I have no information on any of their positions, so I can't really comment on the positioning as much, but you really want to be keeping your camera focused on where the enemy team is, so that if they approach you, you know, and you can spot that danger earlier. They could be flanking you right now for all we know. I think what you're doing is you're looking for clams. Yeah, okay, that's what you're doing. So what we'll see Kugersy do is pick up clams as he's thrown the power clam, but then throw the power clam again so that all the clams drop off him, and lather, rinse, repeat so that he makes 2 footballs that he can juggle at the same time. As we will point out here, this is a very time-consuming play, and I think, honestly, you can get more benefit towards winning the game by not making a play like that, but it is very funny when it works. And the ending of this game, spoilers, is very, very funny. So we'll watch when that happens. But okay, so we move over here. Really good bomb throw. You throw it kind of in the general direction of this opponent, which is always a good thing to do. Even if you don't have your aim perfectly on, it takes away a movement option for this player. They cannot move in the direction that bomb got thrown. And that might help your teammate win the fight, which in fact is exactly what happens here. Now, jumping off...
Sure. I make sure, like when I was moving to S rank, I made sure that I can make like a somewhat good balance between bombs and the brush. And I still struggle with the ink usage of it, but it does really help with some counter plays. Yeah,
a good way to think about it is to think like, what is better for this situation? If you're out of range to hit them with anything else, then throwing a bomb can still help out in that fight. But if you're able to, maneuver yourself into position to use the main weapon, then you can use the brush. So think about it not as I need a balance. Think about it as which is best for this position, which is best for this situation. But yeah, like if for example, you were only using the brush and never thinking to use bombs, that's a good way to kind of snap yourself out of that mentality. So we move around to the right-hand side and we get up the ramp and then we drop down. There's nobody here as far as we know. We haven't seen any movements around here. We haven't seen any shots fired. There was a player who was holding down this position, but they're down already. So from here, I feel like you're giving away your position too early and also putting yourself in a lot of enemy ink. You could sit up here, collect some information, and then maybe if you do spot someone and you have confirmed that they don't see you, then you go for a play like this. But right now, this is kind of just based on not knowing. Maybe you're going after that player and you just responded a little slowly to them being splatted. Is that what happened?
Probably.
Did you? Yeah, you probably thought you were dropping on that player. Okay, that makes some sense. So you see some stuff happening on the left side of the screen. You can either choose to deal with that immediately, or you can rush this player and try and catch this player and then turn around for the other one. it looks like your teammate is focusing on the player ahead. So I would probably like put brush down here, run around to the side, and try and get this player from around the right-hand side. Almost exactly the right idea. The only thing is, you see how you and your teammate are looking in the same direction? That gives your opponent the chance to come around this way. So if your teammate is looking left, and you should expect them to be looking that way because that's where they were shooting already, what you want to do is come around on the right so that you control this area, your teammate controls this area. Now the opponent has to pick one of these players to get shot by instead of being able to dodge both of them by going to this angle. So you do end up starting to catch them here, but they're able to do some sneaky stuff. Okay, third player comes along, and they have nowhere else to run. But that pinch could have happened a little bit more efficiently between the two of you if you just take an off angle from your teammate. So nice, your teammate comes in with a power clam. I like the idea here where you spot, oh hey, there's a player who's coming in to try and attack my teammates from behind. I'm going to come in and attack them from behind. Really like that thinking. The issue is the camera control. Right now you're looking straight down at the ground. If you were tilting this just the tiniest bit up, right here where the timer is an enemy player. And if your camera were tilted up, you would be able to see them, and you would recognize that they're going to be a danger to you before this player is. So they end up getting you there. Alright, so we've got a power clam. Good job getting out of that situation. Throw that over there. As you turn around, I would probably try to get your camera around first, because you look at like the screen right now, you don't actually know much of what's going on in this direction. And it comes around the long way, so that this guy is already here shooting you. If this is a player with X-rank aim, you probably get splatted here, but you're able to get away. Standing your ground there and throwing the bomb is risky because you are in their main weapon range, and they can get 2 shots off before the bomb is going to explode. So I would drop a bomb, but like keep running away, or maybe try to get behind cover and catch them from around the cover. Challenging them out in the open like this is giving them the advantage that their main weapon has over you, which is range. Unfortunate that there was a player over there, but like I said, at this point, I want to be backing up, especially since I can't retreat to this side of the ramp. I'm realizing, like, oh, they're starting to make a push forward, and there's someone on the left. There's probably someone else coming from in front. I should probably just back up and, like, eat the aggression instead of trying to face it straight down. Because from this position, you don't have range on anybody. There's nobody in here for you to hit. The player over here is going to be able to hit you before you can hit them. So there's not a lot that you're going to gain by being here, especially since they know exactly where you are. So instead of like moving forward back into this, I'd probably just back up a little bit there. So your teammate is going to great lengths to save this power clam. They pick it up, they booyah bomb to keep themselves alive. That does actually keep them alive. And it looks like it's going to be able to give them a flank angle on the enemy team. Or they just run in and score a power clam. So I'm going to make the case that the play that they made to score, just to kind of get us thinking about Clam Blitz objective, is actually the wrong play. Here's why. Like, yes, they scored, but first of all, they score, and all that does is decrease the penalty. So they get a clam in. From here, they should not expect the rest of their team to be able to follow up and get any more points in. Because we're all back here trying to play defense still. And especially since they've gone and tried to score on basket, what could easily happen is this leaves the rest of the team in a 3v4. Or, you know, at a numbers disadvantage. So it's very unlikely, based on this score, that your team is going to be able to get anything more in the basket. So you're not going to score any more points. And what else is this going to do? This is going to give the enemy team a pity clam. Pity clams are more powerful than power clams. A pity clam will give the other team the ability to get a free 20 points as soon as anybody is able to super jump to an open basket. So if they make a push and one of their players goes down, that player respawns, goes, immediately picks up the pity clam, super jumps it into the basket. There's very little counterplay for you to be able to stop that from scoring unless you're able to get the rest of the team out of there before that happens. So pity clams are really powerful in that respect. And the pity clam doesn't have to reveal the player until they're doing that super jump. You don't have to like pick up the pity clam and be carrying it around with you. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to break. So we're giving the enemy team a pity clam. We're not scoring any additional points. Yes, okay, on the next score, we'll have fewer penalty points to get through, but that's not worth a full 20 points that we're giving the other team with the pity clam. We went from plus 23 to plus 13. We gained 10 points off of our penalty while giving them a bonus 20 points off of their score on the next scoring push. So even though that probably distracted maybe one player from the enemy team to get them to run back and stop that, the rest of your team wasn't able to get out of your base because of it. It would have been better probably for that player to come around behind the enemy team and flank them so that this fight that's happening around your base goes better for you. So I know that had nothing to do with you and your decision making, but it's something that I want people to understand about Clam Blitz. The goal is not to score as many power clams as you can. The goal is to get a push so strong that you can keep the enemy basket open and go from 0 to 100 in one push. So let's back up and talk about the decision making here. We drop down and we're in a pretty safe position. So, okay, good. You spot that there might be someone coming from over here. You put a bomb in a very nice place so that if they walk around the corner, they are going to splat themselves on it. That's a really smart play. Throw lots of those bombs right around the other side of a corner because players can't see those. They have to like hear them and recognize the danger before they see it. So that's a really good play. And then you recognize, okay, there's nothing else that's going to threaten me from this left-hand side. But then a couple of specials come in and you get zoned out. What I would like to see here probably is, knowing that there's a strong push coming from this side, I would want to flee to the basket probably. The booyah is going to be very temporary. You're going to be able to get through that just fine. And if you're at your basket, you can probably navigate around a baller and not get threatened too much by them. And if you're at the basket, that puts you in between them and scoring, as opposed to putting you on the flank route. Because right now, they're probably going to score. You should expect that power clam is going to make it in. I'm actually surprised it doesn't, but you're also not looking at it. You kind of tunnel on this power clam. This power clam is not the one that's threatening to score. This one is. So this is the one where your team kind of needs to stop this. I guess maybe you're expecting your team is going to be able to beat this, and you're going to be able to catch a player if they come over here and try to pick up the other one. But
yeah, I was betting for that.
But like, there's still a power clam underneath your basket, and you have not collected enough information from your camera to convince me that someone's not just going to pick this up and score in the next 5 seconds. And that is exactly what happens, actually. Man, I hate it when I'm right. So you spend this time like making the power clam to get a counter score, but remember that whenever you're off doing brush things like this, your team is at a numbers disadvantage. So unless the enemy team has reason to be looking at you, realize that being alone means your team is probably going to lose fights more often than not. And that is exactly what happens here. They have control of your basket now. They're able to get a bunch of clams in, and you are visible to them because you have a power clam. So this isn't helping you in the fight. You're being zoned away from the basket, and they're going to get to lead here. Not a huge lead, actually. Your team does a good job of clamping down as soon as you go down there, but lead nonetheless. All right, so we make a power clam. Looks like you're playing to try and maintain the power clams, but the opponents see this crazy game of catch that's happening because the ball turns big and glowing and blue on their screens as this is happening. So it's a really big risk to have a power clam, and this is a big reason why that exact thing is probably going to happen to you. Something else that I would recommend, by the way, that I'm not seeing you do at all, is map checking. While you're on this screen right here, you're getting less information than you would have if you were on your map screen. So that's one really easy way to start getting in the habit of using the map. Just pop it open as soon as you die. Like, okay, yeah, I know where the Gloogadoolies are. It's not like you have a team that you can be calling out this guy's position to. You're going to get more out of seeing the state of the game from the map screen. But even during situations where you're not splatted, it's still often useful to check the map so that you can get information like, is there an opponent who might be sharking behind this corner? Like if you see a spot of enemy ink around a corner like that, then that can inform you to maybe bomb that out before you try and push around the corner. That sort of deal. It's also really good at the very beginning of the match so that you know where the enemy team is rolling out to. If you see 4 paint trails going to the right-hand side and no paint trails going to the left-hand side, now you know where the enemy push is going to come from before you've had to see anything out there on the map with your camera control. So that's a general tip that I would advise anyone to get in the habit of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I kind of forget to do that, and that's also like I'm also like trying to create a habit to like pop up the map pretty often.
So that's something to take note of, you know, and the more you think about it, the more you're like, oh, wait, that's a thing I should have been doing, the more likely you are to actually do it next time. All right, let's talk about this fight that's going on right here. So you throw the power clam down, which is really smart, because now it's not going to reveal your position. If that power clam dies, that's not the end of the world. You're fine. You've got a bunch of clams. All you need is one power clam, and you're in the lead already. So it's not going to take a really huge scoring push if it comes down to it at the very end of the game. Losing a power clam is not the end of the world at all. What it would be the end of the world is if you got splatted and your team staggered and the other team was able to make another scoring run. So I like that you back away from this fight instead of just holding forward and trying to trade back, because you're probably going to get there too late and they're probably going to have help. The splashdown, though, they've moved around to the left-hand side. We know that there's already a player over here, and then this guy is already moving away, so the splashdown isn't going to clear them out. It's not going to create much space, and it is going to inform them where you are. Nice bomb at your feet, though. Probably a prediction that they're coming this way, because I don't see what else. I guess maybe you're thinking maybe they paint around the left-hand side, and maybe that's what you're preparing for, but still, I like those little bombs in places where you expect they might be. Like, keep up that sort of predictive work. That's something that'll get you a lot of free picks. Okay, and now we go for the funny. We've got a couple of players down, and so now you throw a clam on the ground, you go and make another power clam, except you realize, oh wait, I don't have this last one, and this one's going to break. So you pick this one up, let the other clams drop, and then pick up the clams again. Meanwhile, your team is fighting. A teammate has gone down, but a teammate manages to absolutely pop off and get like a triple, and they open the basket and they get the lead without you having done anything to it yet. You're all the way back behind mid, but you start, juggling these clams on the way forward. Meanwhile, it's just one of your teammates, okay, maybe two of your teammates that's controlling the basket. You juggle them, and your two teammates manage to get an entire team wipe. And it is on the basis of all of that really good stuff happening that you're able to get these power clams to the basket right as it closes. I want to illustrate to you that while this does end up working out and your team has enough control of the basket right now that you're able to get these power clams in and win the game off of them, this depended on your teammates winning like a 2v4 in mid, without you being any help to that fight at all while you were off in the corner making your power clams. It's fine to go for funny plays sometimes just because you're like, hey, I bet I could make this work. But, like, recognize that this is suboptimal. Because this player could have potentially stopped this. That player could have potentially stopped this. Like, realize that that guy could have potentially stopped this. 3 players get to your team and have knowledge of where you are because of your power clams before the basket drops and you're able to make this play. This is something that they definitely could have stopped if this had gone a little bit differently. And then you would just feel really silly with 3 clams despawning right next to the enemy basket. So this could have gone a lot worse, but because your team just fragged out and splatted everybody, you end up being able to put 3 power clams in the basket all at the same time and win immediately. And it's very, very funny that you pulled that off. Let's take a look at the end screen real quick. Yeah, see this 25 right here on the KA? That's the main reason that worked. Because T was up there pulling off multiple team wipes while you were messing around with your power clams behind him. T gets the credit for that one. Good job. Good on you, T. For creating such an opportunity. But you would have gotten the points in more consistently, more quickly, and in a way that's safer, that doesn't depend on fragging out that hard, if you had been pushing up with your team while they were in that fight. And then you can use your 1 power clam to open the basket, and all of those clams that you collected, you can throw in as single clams while your head is on a swivel, and as soon as the enemy team starts coming back and trying to defend, you're turning your attention away from the basket for a second to deal with them instead of just mindlessly throwing clams at basket one after the other. Because that's where people get into trouble with single clams. They try to get them in all at once. You don't need to, and in fact, you don't want to get them in all at once. The advantage of the single clam is that you have a 3-second reset on the clam basket timer, whereas the power clam gives you a 10-second reset, and that's all. This is a 3-second reset per clam. So if you have 9 clams, in theory, that's 27 seconds of basket time that you can keep it open for, and that gives your teammates time to go in and get more clams. And if one person is throwing single clams to keep the basket open, everyone else can be working on protecting them while they go back to get more clams. You can kind of get this sort of assembly line system going in Clam Blitz, and that's really what you're looking for at high level. A lot of people say, like, oh, I hate playing Clam Blitz because you need to coordinate with your teammates. At high level, you actually need less coordination than you probably need with a lot of other modes. A Clam Blitz push kind of follows logically as long as you know the basics for how to make it happen. 1, everyone picks up a bunch of single clams but doesn't make a power clam yet. 2, you gain control of the enemy basket. So use specials, fight, whatever you got to do to get that. 3, as soon as you're right next to the enemy basket, you throw clams at the person who has the most so that a power clam is made. And before that power clam really has any time to give the enemy team information, the clam is already in the basket. And from there, you're playing to maintain the clam push. You're playing... Sorry, I stepped away from the mic for a second. You're playing to keep that timer reset. And what that means often is that you're actually not throwing the clams in as fast as you possibly can. Throwing them in as fast as you possibly can resets maybe half a second on the timer. If you throw 1 clam, wait for 3 seconds to tick down, then throw another clam, that's buying you and your team more time to get more clams and have an even bigger push. So that's really the way that plays out optimally. And every single step of that process is something that players can communicate wordlessly as long as they have the game knowledge to know that that's how they want to play it. So you get into higher level Clam Blitz lobbies and they can be very coordinated without even needing so much as a this way. So that's kind of food for thought for how Clam Blitz should work in theory. But it's going to be a little while before the players are going to understand every single step of that process. I'm trying to give you this information so that you can start thinking like, okay, my awesome like triple power clam push worked here, and that's funny, and that's content, and that's something you should absolutely put in a Twitter clip. But like, if I'm playing on a competitive team, the way that I'm going to want to make this work is to play to keep the basket open. So hopefully that gave you a lot of things to think about. Let me know if you ever have any questions, or if you have any questions now, feel free to ask.
Sure, I might have questions later.
Okay.
Because with this VOD review, it covered most of my questions.
Gotcha. Awesome. Main thing I would say with the brush, since, you know, right now your game plan seems to be like run around to make power clan, run around to like play objective quickly before they can respond, that will stop working because players will start gaining the awareness that they need to be able to spot you out on a flank like that. So what you start doing instead is, sure, maybe get like 8 or 9 clams. That's always useful to have. But then run around in an off angle and try and draw their attention. Try to get to where you're setting up good fights for your teammates because the other team is looking at you. And you go, haha, look at me, I'm the brush. Look at me running around like a funny man. Whee! And they, you know, devote 2 players to trying to chase you, which is of course silly because you are a brush and you get away from everything. And so then those 2 players are drawn away. If your teammates capitalize on that and pop specials and rush the other 2 guys, now you've got a 3v2 that you can safely disengage from your 1v2 just fine, while your team has a 3v2 on the other side. And those are the kinds of plays that you're trying to set up as a brush. You can do things that are annoying, like get down into the enemy useless and run around there and draw enemy players to behind their own basket, which forces them to give up complete control over mid. Those are the kinds of ideas that you're looking for, to be a distraction, to be a rat, to be an annoyance that's in their base, that they kind of have to deal with it so it doesn't come up behind them and flank them. But if they try to deal with it, it's pulling them away from what's really most important in the macro scale on the map. So that's kind of the general game plan. Anyway, thank you to both you, Kugersy and Tania, for submitting footage for our stream today. Really appreciate you guys being here and being willing to hear me talk about all of the mistakes you're making in front of all of these people. That takes a certain amount of courage, and I respect the heck out of you for doing it. You've been, you know, great sports and listening to all of the feedback I've been giving, and I really appreciate that. Thank you to all of you guys for coming and watching the stream. This will be up on YouTube for at least a bit. I don't think YouTube deletes the VODs, does it? I don't think it does, because my tier list thing is still up. Anyway, thank you guys for coming and watching. I'm going to put a link tree in the chat really quick. This gives you all of my links. And I did not successfully open it there, but I can open it here. Okay, come on, Linktree, work with me. Do the thing. Oh no. It's giving me tutorial options. No. Okay, here we go. We're going to copy that, and we're going to paste that. Boom. There we go. So this has all of the links. So it's got all of the places where I'm putting content, and it's also got the Patreon. Really appreciate you guys supporting the Patreon. It's something that's going to help me do this, you know, the streaming and especially YouTube full time. So if you're interested, for example, in picking which map mode of the day I do next, I give a poll like that to all of the Patreon supporters. Really means a lot to get that support, and that's super helpful to me. So would appreciate you guys checking that out. And even if you can't, you know, you can click like on my TikTok, and that makes me really happy and gives me dopamine, and that keeps me going through the night. And you can also see all of the YouTube videos that I'm posting. I'm doing guides on different map modes at the moment, and also, as I've just talked about on this stream, in case you missed it, I'm going to be doing some streams where I play a weapon that I don't normally play competitively and try to get it up to X rank. And you can see kind of how I'm thinking about the game, what carries over from one weapon to another, the learning process of picking up the mechanics of a new weapon and how I try to apply those. And there was a tweet that I posted on the Twitter that you can find on that link tree where I ask for suggestions for which weapon to do first. and I'm going to heavily factor in you guys' input from that Twitter post on which weapon I choose first. So thank you everybody so much, and I'm going to sign off for now. Let's go and find someone to raid on Twitch. We haven't done that in a minute. Let's actually send off a good and proper raid. Can't do that on YouTube, but actually there is a. I know that there is a beta right now for certain YouTubers to be able to do that. So hopefully that's a feature that comes out on YouTube in the future, and we're actually able to make it so that I can raid people on both channels. But for the time being, it's just going to be on Twitch. So who are we sending y'all off to? Oh, hey, Milana's streaming. Easy choice. We're going and we're raiding Milana. Okay, so I'm waiting for the raid timer to tick down, and then I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to sign off. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.